Welcome to Your Yes-Filled Life. I'm your host, Brenda Winkle, educator, healer, speaker, guide, and fierce advocate for your yes. I help sensitive and successful men and women find, reclaim, and live from their full embodied yes. Through empowering you to understand your energetic hygiene, establish healthy boundaries, and heal your nervous system, you'll be able to create your yes-filled life and move through your days with more freedom, more ease, and more joy. You'll hear inspiring stories of people who found their full-bodied yes, thought leaders who pursued their own dreams and are living life on their terms, and learn new ways to find the courage, joy, ease, and freedom to more fully step into your yes-filled life. Say no to the good so you can say yes to the great. Join me on this journey to discover your yes-filled life. Whether you're looking to break free from the golden handcuffs, start a new business, find your dream job, or simply live with more intention and mindfulness, I've got you covered. Let's explore the possibilities together and make your dreams a reality. Ready? Let's do this. Let's get you to your yes-filled life. Hello and welcome to Your Yes-Filled Life. I'm your host, Brenda Winkle. I'm so excited you're here today. And as I'm recording this today, it is fall outside. I'm looking at the leaves falling from the trees outside my office window. They're a brilliant orange and yellow. Bentley is chewing a Kong filled with treats at my feet. And it's sweater weather here in the Portland area. So I've got on a nice warm sweater and I'm so excited to be with you today on the podcast. So Bentley, you might actually hear in the course of this recording, he is the puppy that I adopted at the end of June, and I just love him so much. He is part greyhound and part other things. I don't know what. I'd like to do a DNA test, but I haven't done one yet. I'm super curious. I'm kind of wondering if he might have some cattle dog in him or something else. And as I'm talking to you right now, he just jumped up on my chair and put his little front paws on my arm. So he is in approval of this podcast episode. So he has grown so much over the past couple of weeks that neither one of us know quite what to do about his size. He's so tall when he stands up that his face gets right into the middle of my dining room table. And so that has created some new opportunities for him and some new challenges for me. But I am just absolutely loving having him as a new addition to my family. And he and Jane play together. They've just started to play. Jane now lives with my daughter. She's the Chewini that maybe you've seen on Instagram. But Jane and Maya come over pretty often, and then Bentley can play, and they all get along famously. So today we're going to be talking about your soul's mission. Now, I'm not going to tell you what your soul's mission is. That's not what this is about. In fact, no one can tell you what your soul's mission is but you. But before we get into that part, let's talk about what is a mission statement. Now, I don't know if you automatically think, oh gosh, this is going to be boring. It's not, I promise. Stick with me here. So, when we have a mission statement, it guides our decision making. It guides the actions that we take and it guides how we move through the world. It guides how we spend our time, how we spend our money, how we interface with our relationships, how we show up in our friendships, how we show up with our clients and with the people that we work with. And so, we see mission statements in schools, in companies, in organizations, in clubs, and they're really important because they're sort of like the guiding light. So here are some examples of mission statements from large companies that you've heard of. I was thinking about Coca-Cola because, their brand is so on lock that I thought, oh, I want to see their mission statement. So here it is. The Coca-Cola Company's purpose remains clear: to refresh the world and make a difference. The purpose is uniquely us. It's why we exist, and it's needed now more than ever. So, as I think about the advertising that I see from Coca-Cola, I can see that they're really living within their mission. And that makes just a ton of sense to me. Does that make sense to you? I'm wondering how you feel about that. I wanted to look up another company that I know really has a high value placed on giving back. And so I looked up Tom's Shoes. If you haven't heard of Tom's Shoes, they're really popular canvas shoes. And when the company started, and I don't know if this is still true, but when the company started, they were giving away one pair of shoes for every pair of shoes purchased. And so I was really curious about what their mission statement would be. And here it is. Tom's mission is to use business to improve lives. This core value is embedded in everything we do. And that feels so true when you think about, them donating shoes and giving back to the world. It's absolutely true. They're living within their mission. It's one of the reasons why they've grown so much so quickly. In fact, there are copycat companies that have tried to do the same thing, but their mission isn't quite the same. And so I don't think that they've had the same level of success. I recently discovered Taos shoes, which Taos shoes, if you're looking for an affiliate partner, I'm your girl. Oh my goodness. I went to this shoe store in a neighborhood where I live and was just asking for some comfortable dress shoes. Well, I quickly abandoned the search for dress shoes when I realized I could have a pair of sneakers that were pink. Yes, pink. And they have zippers on the side. They are so cute. So I got I got Taos pink sneakers and I got them because I thought they were really cute. And then the salesman said that they're known for having a really soft footbed. And I have been absolutely loving these sneakers. I wear them probably 3 to 4 days a week. I love them. I think they're cute and they're so comfortable. And my body just feels great when I'm wearing them. So I thought I want to look up Taos Shoes Mission to see if it's connected in some way. And wouldn't you know it? It is. Here's their mission. Your support and wellness is our motivation. Support starts from the ground up, and we aim to support your feet so you can feel good, move more, and live well. We love when you come back for another pair and tell your friends about Taos. This is why we love doing what we do. Oh my gosh. Of course, it makes total sense now, right? Of course, I'm feeling really great in these shoes because that's their company mission. So everything that they do is ensuring that I'm feeling good so I can move more and live well. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. Speaking of living well, invite you to take one too if you have water handy. We all need to hydrate more. So, all this is to say, I wonder if you've thought about your soul's mission. Now, we all know what it feels like when the mission is really aligned to the company. Those are three examples. We know what that feels like. We also know what it feels like when the mission is not aligned with the decision making, the actions, how money's spent, how time is spent. We know when there's a lack of integrity. And you can absolutely feel it. It shows up in everything, right? So this can show up in our lives too. When we're living in a way that is completely aligned to our soul's mission, it just flows easily. It all makes sense. And when we're living out of alignment, it can feel not so great. So, I'm going to tell you a story here in a little bit about why this is important to me and some things that I've learned in the past few weeks. This is new learning for me. And I feel so passionate about it. I want to share it with you. So, let me just ask you some questions. Do you know what your soul's mission is? And if you do, can you articulate that mission in a sentence or two? Here's mine. My mission is to help you find, reconnect, and live from your soul's mission. I'm going to say that again. My mission is to help you find, reconnect, and live from your soul's mission. Now, here's the thing. That's not a new mission for me. That's been my mission the whole time. I will admit to you that I got a little bit away from that mission. And I'll talk more about that in just a second. But here are some ways that you might be able to tell if you're living congruently to your soul's mission. You feel ease and abundance. Time disappears where you're doing the work and you're in the groove of doing the thing that really lights you up, and you can't tell if it's been 10 minutes or 6 hours. Your soul's work doesn't feel like work and you do it for free. And this can be a problem for new business owners who are working in their new soul's mission. This has definitely been an area of challenge for me because my soul's work lights me up so much that I would and have done it for free. That's a conversation for another day. Another way you can tell when you're living aligned with your soul's mission is when you get the chance to create something that is aligned with that soul's mission. It's hard to think about other things because it feels so fun to be thinking about the mission of your soul. So, my guess is that there have been at least moments here and there where you can resonate with all of those things. You know what it feels like when you're living in a way that aligns to your soul's mission. Well, how does it feel if you're living out of alignment when you aren't living in a way that reflects your soul's mission? Well, you worry a lot because things feel scary. You find yourself feeling stuck. You might have decision fatigue or not quite know what to do next. You might find yourself comfort eating or drinking or shopping or binging on Netflix. You might have the sensation that you know there's something more for you. You know there's more for you. You kind of might be able to say what it is, but it's not crystal clear. You just know there's more. You have a feeling like you don't fit in your current career, in your current surroundings. There's just kind of a feeling of not quite fitting in. If you're not living aligned with just your soul's mission, things can feel confusing, like literally confusing. You might also feel anxiety or depression. And you might rely on numbing behaviors because it feels so hard and kind of bad to be living in a way that's not aligned with your soul's mission. I really believe that we all have a knowing whether or not we're aligned with our soul's mission and that it really impacts how we feel. So if you're not living aligned with your soul's mission, you might have a short fuse. You might end up lashing out at people accidentally just because you're so frustrated by not doing the things that you really want to be doing. You might question everything. And I don't mean like asking questions of people, but I mean question yourself, question where you live, question your career, question if you're on the right path, question if this is the right person for you, question if you're in the right friendships, question. You might have an exhaustion that sleep just does not help because you're just not feeling totally fueled. So here's why this is important. You know, I was in a coaching call with my mentor, Samantha Skelly, earlier this fall. And in this coaching call, she was talking to us about our soul's mission. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, this is such a great idea. I cannot wait for this. This is going to be good. It's going to be juicy. And much to my surprise, I had no trouble articulating my soul's mission. It was like easy. Like before she was done explaining soul's mission, my sentence had formulated. My mission is to reconnect you to your soul's mission. It's really that simple for me. And then as I really leaned in, really leaned in and got clear on, okay, my mission, my soul's mission is to reconnect you to your soul's mission. I started to feel a little bit of discomfort. And the discomfort felt like butterflies in my stomach. It felt like tension across my shoulders. And I think I could just say unease. I felt unease. And I kept thinking, why am I feeling unease? I just created my soul's mission statement. Why doesn't this feel better? And then I realized that it's because I had lost sight of my soul's mission. I had forgotten. And here's how. I had gone to some business coaches asking for support to create funnels and lead magnets and websites and different things and business strategies. And the business coaches are very skilled at what they do. I'm not throwing any shade at them. They're really good at what they do. And also, they didn't think that the languaging that I was using when I talk to you, either in the podcast, on social media, on my webpage, on my sales pages, in my marketing, on my even just speaking to you, they didn't think it resonated. In fact, one said that it was repelling to have anything that was kind of woo, and that being kind of woo was was not was not appealing to her. And so I thought at that time, I thought, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So I want to be appealing to more people. So I'm going to take away the woo language. And what happened when I did that for me, and this was not this coach's fault at all, this is totally me. What happened is that I moved away from my soul's mission and I moved toward trying to do things like everybody else. Well, it worked just as well as you think it did. It it didn't work. It didn't work because I felt out of alignment with my soul's mission. I felt icky and gross. And as a result, my sales and revenue has reflected that because energy has no walls, right? So if I'm feeling out of congruence with my messaging because my messaging is trying not to be too woo, oh my gosh. Well, I think you probably get the point. But here's the truth. I'm all woo because I truly believe the woo is all there is. Energy is everything. And if I believe that my soul's mission is to reconnect you to your soul's mission, we are in the woo solidly. We're solidly in the woo. And we can talk about spirituality. We can talk about woo. We can talk about, any of those things. And the bottom line is, that if I'm trying to change my soul's mission language to be more appealing to somebody else's idea of what is appealing, I've missed the mark. And that's what I did. I moved away from what I know to be true for me because I believed other people when they said that it wasn't going to be appealing. So, lesson learned. Lesson learned. So I sat in the discomfort, and it took about 2 weeks for this really to percolate through my system about why was it so easy for me to come up with my soul's mission statement, and why did I feel so freaking uncomfortable? And then I realized, I'm off the mark. I'm off the mark. So I am part of the Life Mastermind with Samantha Skelly. And every week on Monday, we have a breathwork session that is held just for the members of the Life Mastermind. And in one of my breathwork sessions where I was being the breather, in other words, I wasn't leading the session, I was participating in the session, it all became crystal clear. And that's why I'm here with you today. That's why we're talking about this, because I have such clarity around this for myself that I want to share it with you, Because if you have changed the language of your soul's mission in order to be, quote, more appealing or to fit in or to um, make it easier for the people around you, then you probably know exactly what I was feeling over those couple of weeks when I was sitting in the discomfort, knowing that I had kind of moved away from my soul's mission and moved into something else. And, I am a pretty self assured person. And if I wouldn't have been reminded, I know I still would have found my way back to my soul's mission. But I am so grateful for the reminder and for the community in Life Mastermind to help me come back to this center, which is my truth, which is my soul's mission. And so I'm just so excited and supercharged. I mean, supercharged with energy around this. And I want to ignite you and your soul's mission because now that I have this clarity, I feel it in my body. It's a felt sense. It feels like smooth freedom. It feels like ease, abundance, excitement, aliveness. It feels like tingles in my fingers and tingles in my feet. It just feels so lit up, so positive, so possible, so good. So here are the discoveries that I made in this process. And if you're multitasking, I invite you to come back to me now because these are really, really important. Here's number one. Only you know and can determine the mission of your soul. The people around you might be able to reflect it back to you, those that love you the most. And they might be able to say, oh, yeah, that's it when you share it. They might be able to guess it for you, but only you really know it. Your soul's mission is that whisper. It's that thing that's always in the back of your mind that you kind of want to do. It might be, I want to write a book, or I want to start a podcast, or I want to give back. I want to help people have a life with more ease. I want to teach online courses. I want to retire early. I want to just go drive around the country and see things. Whatever your soul's mission is, only you know it. And if you would like someone to share it with me. I would love to hear and hold safe your soul's mission. So you can DM me on Instagram at Brenda Winkle and just say, my soul's mission is, and then tell me, I want to hear it. And when you share it with somebody and you say it either in an Instagram DM to me or you say it out loud to the people that you love, it alchemizes it. And all of a sudden it's crystallized and it feels so easy. And your decision making becomes so easy because you can just say to yourself, is this aligned with my soul's mission? Yes. Then it's an easy yes for you. Is it not aligned to your soul's mission? Then it's an easy no. It's so powerful. Here's learning number 2. And this is not new learning, but it's it's a new layer of learning for me and perhaps for you too if you've been listening to the podcast for a while. And it's this. Energy has no walls. The energy you have when you create something, whether that's a text or an email, a pitch to a magazine, or a chapter in your book, or a homework assignment for your students, a social media campaign, a talk, whatever it is, the energy where you birth that is the energy that people feel. So you know how you can get a text or an email on your phone and you know exactly what the energetic frequency of the person who sent it was. You can tell if they're needy or if they're mad or if they're anxious, or you can feel it, right? Well, guess what? Other people can feel your energy too, which is why it matters. So we're all mostly energy. This is quantum physics. It's energy medicine. It's the truth about energy work. You're mostly energy. So tending to it, attuning to your energy, protecting your energy is of the absolute utmost importance. And one of the best ways to protect your energy is to get crystal clear on what your soul's mission is. And if you don't know what your soul's mission is, we'll talk about that in just a second because I've got some help for you. And if you know what your soul's mission is, but you don't know how to activate it, you don't know how to get on that path, I've got help for you too. but we'll get there in a second. Here's the third learning. There are everyday things that you can do that either support or get in the way of your soul's mission. These daily tasks might be making meals, taking out the trash, doing the laundry, washing the car, driving the kids, taking the car through the car wash, getting the groceries, walking the dog. All of those things are things that need to happen in your life. And you can either do them in a way that supports and supercharges your soul's mission, or they can deplete you and get in the way, in fact, blocking your soul's mission. So, how do we do this? Well, think about this. Think about the way that you might have a buildup of anything inside your home. Maybe that's a buildup of clutter, of things that aren't being used, a buildup of stagnant energy or dirt or even negative interactions. Maybe there's a buildup of the boxes you never unpacked or the pile of mail you're coming back to. All of those physical things impact the clarity you have around your soul's mission, and it impacts your ability to live into your soul's mission. Why? Well, because energy has no walls. And so if we have physical clutter, it creates mental and emotional clutter. And conversely, emotional and mental clutter can create physical clutter. So it can be the chicken and the egg scenario where you feel cluttered in your mind and your emotions, so you create clutter on the outside. Or you might not be able to feel clarity because you have clutter on the outside. So again, chicken, egg. Now, all of this is for naught if you don't understand this next point. So again, come back to me if you're multitasking. The number one way to solve all of this, to get back on track, to activate your soul's mission, to get living on that path with your soul's mission is so, so simple. Again, simple doesn't always mean easy, but it is simple. And here it is. Energy. When you shift your energy, you shift the energy of your environment or your home or the energy around you, it will literally change your life. Because when you shift the energy to align with your soul's purpose, it's sort of like a line of dominoes where everything just flows one right into the other. Now, the shifts don't have to be big, like moving out of your current home or remodeling your current home, although they can be that big, absolutely. But it could be really small, like managing that pile of mail on your dining room table, or cleaning out your office closet, or unpacking some of those boxes in the garage, or giving away the clothes that are too small. Maybe that's for the kids, maybe it's for you. But when you get rid of the things that aren't serving you, that don't reflect your current life, you're freeing up space for new energy to flow in. Now, I know as someone who longs to be on a soul mission, and I know that's you, or you wouldn't be listening to a podcast called Your Yes Filled Life, because that's really at the core of this, right? A yes filled life is a life that's congruent with your soul's mission. Having fun, being of service, being lit up, enjoying life. That's a yes filled life, right? That feeling of yes. Well, because I know that you're someone who values that, and because I'm so on fire about this, I created a new masterclass series, and it's called 3 Secrets from an Energy Worker to Create a Life and Home You Love. And I'm so passionate about this that I created 3 times to fit a variety of schedules, to fit a variety of time zones. So hopefully there's one that works for you. I'm going to be teaching this at on November 7th at 1 p.m., November 11th at 10 a.m., and November 14th at 1 p.m. It's the same content all 3 times. Although, let me just be transparent and vulnerable. And I'll tell you that probably, the 14th one is going to be really, really good because I will have taught it twice before. It is live. It's not webinar style. It's live on Zoom where you'll get to see me and ask me questions and hear me. And you can register for free at brendawinkle.com/3, the number 3 secrets. So that's 3 number SECRETS. 3 secrets where I'm going to be spilling the beans on all the ways that you can use energy to reconnect with your soul's purpose, with your soul's mission. I'm so excited about this. I actually cried when this came into my awareness. I had tears rolling down my face for about 35 minutes after the breathwork session where this all dropped in for me. And so I know that everything is energy. And in this masterclass, I'm going to teach you to work with the energy around you so that you can reduce stress, increase abundance, clear emotional and physical clutter, minimize decision fatigue, and optimize your environment so that it really supports you. You'll go from feeling overwhelmed and depleted to feeling calm, peace, and ease so that you can live into the mission of your soul without getting distracted by the day to day. I hope to see you there. It's going to be a juicy one. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you either in email or on Instagram at Brenda Winkle. Does this resonate with you? And I really would love to hear your soul's purpose. I love doing this work. I love hearing people's ideas and purposes and inspirations, and I want to hear yours. If you haven't yet left the podcast a rating or a review, my humble request is, could you please do that now? The more ratings and review a podcast has, the more likely it is to show up in the feed of someone who really needs it. And at the time of this recording, we are 500 downloads away from our 10,000 download mark, which is a big deal in the podcasting world. So if you could please share this episode with someone who you think would like it, or someone that you love, that you want to talk about soul's purpose with, it can be a really juicy conversation between friends as you share your soul's purpose with each other. Thank you so much for listening to Your Yes Filled Life. I just love you, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to do this work with you, and I'm so grateful for you for listening and being on this journey with me. Bye for now. Until next time.